9 experienced hikers, all in their 20s, died in a single night under bizarre and unexplained circumstances. Their bodies found scattered across the snowy landscape of the Ural Mountains. The date was February 2, 1959, and the group, led by Igor Dyatlov, had been on a hiking expedition to reach the summit of Mount Atorton. A challenging but non-technical climb. But here's where it gets dark. The investigation into their deaths would uncover a series of strange and inexplicable events that would leave even the most seasoned investigators baffled. The group had set out on January 28, 1959, from the town of Yekaterinburg, eager to tackle the challenging terrain of the Ural Mountains. They were all experienced hikers and athletes, and their goal was to reach the summit of Mount Atorton, a feat that would earn them the coveted Grade 3 hiking certification. The group consisted of Igor Dyatlov, Lyudmila Dubanina, Alexander Kolevatov, Georgy Krivonishenko, Yuri Doroshenko, Nikolai Thibault Brunel, Semyon Zolotaryov, and Yuri Yudin, who would later turn back due to illness. Nobody talks about this part, but Yudin's decision to turn back would ultimately save his life, and his account of the events leading up to the tragedy would become a crucial part of the investigation. As the group ventured deeper into the Ural Mountains, they began to experience a series of strange and unexplained occurrences. They reported seeing strange lights in the sky, and some even claimed to have seen a Yeti-like creature lurking in the woods. But here's the thing. These claims were initially dismissed as mere fantasy, the result of exhaustion and the harsh conditions of the wilderness. However, as the investigation would later reveal, these strange occurrences would become a recurring theme in the events leading up to the tragedy. The group's final campsite was located near a mountain known as Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language, a name that would prove eerily prophetic. The night of February 1, 1959, would be the group's last. They had set up camp on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, and as they settled in for the night, something strange occurred. Their tent was ripped open from the inside, and the group fled into the freezing night, some of them barefoot and in their underwear. The investigation would later reveal that the group had suffered severe internal injuries, including broken ribs and fractured skulls. But there was no external trauma to explain these injuries. It was as if they had been subjected to some kind of intense internal force that had caused their bodies to implode. And this is where everything fell apart. The group's bodies were found scattered across the mountain, some of them showing signs of a frantic attempt to flee, while others appeared to have simply collapsed where they stood. The investigation into the Dyatlov Pass incident, as it would come to be known, was launched on February 26, 1959, when the group's bodies were finally discovered. The Soviet authorities were baffled by the strange circumstances of the deaths, and the investigation would become one of the most extensive and bizarre in Soviet history. The investigators found that the group's tent had been ripped open from the inside, and that the hikers had fled into the night, some of them without their shoes or coats. The investigation also revealed that the group had been experiencing strange and unexplained phenomena in the days leading up to the tragedy, including strange lights and sounds. But here's the thing. The investigation would ultimately fail to provide any clear answers, and the case would remain a mystery, a haunting enigma that would continue to fascinate and terrify people to this day. As the investigation continued, more bizarre details emerged. The group's cameras were found, and the developed photos showed strange and unexplained images, including a photo of a mysterious figure lurking in the trees. The investigation also revealed that the group had been experiencing strange and vivid dreams in the days leading up to the tragedy, dreams that seemed to foreshadow the events that would unfold. Nobody talks about this part, but the investigation also uncovered evidence of a possible military experiment gone wrong. A theory that would suggest that the group had stumbled into a secret military operation and had been silenced to prevent them from revealing what they had seen. And this is where everything gets really dark. The Soviet authorities would ultimately classify the investigation and the files would remain sealed for decades, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories about the true nature of the Dyatlov Pass incident. The Dyatlov Pass incident would become a Soviet-era mystery, a haunting and unexplained event that would continue to fascinate and terrify people to this day. The investigation would ultimately fail to provide any clear answers, and the case would remain a mystery, a reminder of the strange and unexplained forces that lurk in the wilderness. The incident would also have a profound impact on the families of the victims, who would be left to pick up the pieces and try to make sense of the senseless tragedy. And this is where the story takes a really strange turn. In the years following the incident, several of the investigators would report experiencing strange and unexplained phenomena, including vivid dreams and nightmares, as if they had been somehow affected by the events they were investigating. The aftermath of the Dyatlov Pass incident would be marked by a sense of confusion and uncertainty. The Soviet authorities would ultimately conclude that the group had died as a result of a combination of factors, including avalanches, military experiments, and even Yeti attacks. However, these explanations would fail to satisfy the public, and the incident would remain a source of fascination and speculation. The incident would also have a profound impact on the world of hiking and mountaineering, as it would highlight the risks and uncertainties of venturing into the wilderness. And this is where the story gets really haunting. The Dyatlov Pass incident would become a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of the unknown and the unexplained forces that lurk in the wilderness. The Dyatlov Pass incident would remain a mystery, a haunting enigma that would continue to fascinate and terrify people to this day. The incident would become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring countless books, movies, and documentaries. And this is where the story takes a really dark turn. The incident would also inspire a sense of morbid curiosity, as people would become obsessed with the details of the tragedy, poring over the investigation files and photos, searching for clues and answers. The incident would become a reminder of the strange and unexplained forces that lurk in the wilderness, and the dangers of venturing into the unknown. The Dyatlov Pass incident would remain a source of fascination and speculation, a haunting and unexplained event that would continue to captivate and terrify people to this day. The legacy of the Dyatlov Pass incident would be one of mystery and intrigue, a haunting reminder of the strange and unexplained forces that lurk in the wilderness. The incident would become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring countless books, movies, and documentaries. And this is where the story gets really haunting. The incident would also inspire a sense of morbid curiosity, as people would become obsessed with the details of the tragedy, searching for clues and answers. The Dyatlov Pass incident would remain a source of fascination and speculation, a reminder of the dangers of the unknown and the unexplained forces that lurk in the wilderness. In the end, the Dyatlov Pass incident would remain a mystery, a haunting enigma that would continue to fascinate and terrify people to this day. The case would remain a source of fascination, a reminder of the strange and unexplained events that can occur in the most remote and inhospitable places on Earth. Subscribe for more stories like this.